much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise that with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about. We got time.
So the goal here is to not drop my phone in the water because you're currently on the edge of a bridge. I don't know. Anyway, the other point is that I hope that it's not too windy here and that it's actually coming through my microphone because I didn't turn the Bluetooth on. Okay, hopefully that's working a bit better, but obviously it's windy, it's Dublin, but I just wanted to say hi. I haven't really talked at all since starting the vlog because, I talked a few times. I talked to my dorm, I think, at Edinburgh, but I didn't film that much of Edinburgh because I was going around with a friend and I didn't film it much. So if Bastian, you're watching this, thanks for watching and thanks for hanging out in Edinburgh. It was lots of fun. So all the footage that you just saw of Edinburgh was basically just exploring around some friends, but I'm in Dublin now and it's the first part of solo traveling and it's been interesting to say the least. I started off feeling a little bit lonely because I just come from Edinburgh, which was like really busy seeing friends, and I had like set things to do each day because I had to meet up with people, whereas I ended up in Dublin and I was like, oh, it's like just me, but I also don't have a home or a hostel to go to, and so it was an interesting like moment where I was like, what do I actually do with myself? So I ended up getting some work done and stuff, and the first day was honestly a bit of a missed opportunity. I think I just, wow, that wind is intense. I think I just took a second to like just sit with the emotions of being like, oh, I'm alone and I don't really know what to do. So I ended up working and reading my book, which depending on when this comes out, I don't know when this is coming out, but I am doing like a reading vlog thing of the books that I stuffed my Kindle with, which I can link at the top if you haven't seen that video. But basically I stuffed my Kindle with a whole bunch of free books and I finished one of them last night and it was a shocker to say the least. It is not what I was expecting, but anyway, I pretty much did that, and then today is my first full day in Dublin and I made sure that I set like not a task or a to-do list, but like a to-do list of things I wanted to do, so I didn't just end up being like wallowing around. And so I got up and I did some work. I had a few things on my to-do list that I had to do. I also called my mom because I haven't seen her in a while and she's coming in 8 weeks, which is insane. So I just made sure that we had a good catch up. It was very short though because unfortunately by the time that I got up and could call them, it was like 9 or 10 p.m. New Zealand time. So that didn't go down so well in terms of timing. It could have been like I could have got up earlier, but I didn't. I'm on semi-holiday, so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just Anyway, I got up and then I worked. I think I filmed my lunch. I worked in the lobby of the hostel that I'm currently staying in for a bit, and then I got hungry and I wanted a coffee, and there was a really cute cafe just down the road, so I went there, got some work done, and then I had a work call at like 1, which I'd actually forgotten about, so thank you Google Calendar. I did the call, and then I actually just went and got a tattoo, which you can see just there. And now I'm just standing on a bridge, which is super beautiful, and I'm gonna go secondhand book shopping because that's another video that I'm filming. I actually ended up upgrading my Ryanair flight, if you can upgrade Ryanair, but I was upgrading it on the last flight. I've taken 4 flights and I've only upgraded it for the last one because I want to go secondhand book shopping here, and it turns out that buying secondhand books requires luggage space. So I had only come with like a backpack, like a small backpack I think is what they call it, and I've upgraded it to two carry-on bags, so 1 backpack and 1 mini suitcase that goes up on the top. Not that I have a suitcase, I'm literally just going to put my main bag, which was my backpack, up in the loft? No, what's it called? Up in the locker thing above the seats, and then I'm just going to have like a tote bag or something full of books because I don't weigh things, so it's going to be fine. So yeah, I just thought I'd update you because I haven't updated you since, and yeah.
Nothing is undoable. I cannot make it easier. If I could only slip through time, make my present bearable. If I could go back there and take you in my arms, tell you how I really felt, change the way it all played out. But man cannot go backwards, backwards, backwards. Bound to take it all in, falling forward. Still I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back.
Welcome to day 3. This is the day that I really want to talk through because it's the most that happened while I was in Ireland. Everything else, I was really there for a work trip and being able to sightsee in the afternoon, but I did spend so much time working that I didn't really see as much as I would have liked to, and so this was the one full day that I had fully reserved for sightseeing. It was a tour that I booked. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what they're called. I thought they were like wildcat tours, and I'm pretty sure that I have that wrong. So I'm gonna put it up on the screen when I'm editing this video of what it was actually called. But it was such a great tour. We went out to the cliffs of Moher, and then we went further down south into Galway. and it was just beautiful. And we had a really knowledgeable guide. It was really lovely going through and seeing all of the ruins, which, as you know, I'm a medievalist. I study medieval history, and so ruins are kind of my thing. And he also sung a few times, which was really sweet because he used to be in, I think it was an Irish band. It might have just been a general band. It was really cool to have him sing some traditional songs while we were going around. And then also we drove through some specific small villages such as Limerick, which is where the band The Cranberries are from. And so as we were driving around, he actually played local music, which was so cool. Our first big stop was the Cliffs of Moher, and the one main thing to know about this, if you don't know about the Cliffs of Moher, is that this is where they filmed, okay, this isn't the most important thing to know, but it's like iconic, is that this is where they filmed one of the scenes in The Princess Bride. I grew up watching it, but basically there's a scene where they have to scale up the side of a cliff and it's here. And so it was kind of crazy walking around and seeing that, if that makes sense. It was also the first time I used the selfie stick by myself, and I was trying to be all incognito and everything and not like look like I was the ultimate tourist, but of course I absolutely was. I went for a walk. There's actually 2 walks that you can do. Well, obviously there's more, but there's 2 directions, and they have paths going along the cliffs to the south of the visitor center and to the north of the visitor center. And I'm pretty sure that you can walk in either direction for like 4 to 5 hours. Like it keeps going. I obviously didn't have that much time because I was part of a tour group. And one thing that I actually liked about this tour group was that you get left to your own devices in each stop. And so we were given 2 hours here, and I walked for, I want to say like 45 minutes in the southern direction, which is the path that I'm currently taking all of these videos on. And I went this way because it looked the least crowded, and there was also a castle in the far distance which I saw and I thought it would be very cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get to it because it was too far away, but it was really nice kind of walking along and slowly getting closer and closer. It was also really nice to go in this direction because I could be totally wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen the Cliffs of Moher in a nature documentary, because this is where the puffins meet. I don't know what you call it, but it's where the puffins come when they're migrating. This is one of their stops, and I'm pretty sure that I saw one of these outcrops on the nature documentary. I could be wrong, but if you know about it, let me know in the comments because I want to make sure that I'm not wrong about this. Anyway, you could only see that from one direction, so I'm really glad that I walked the southern direction so I could look back and see that. Plus, it was really cool to see, like, it's not a lighthouse, it's kind of a castle thing that's on the edge of one of the cliffs. But then it was also really cool seeing, oh my gosh, okay, I don't know technical terms for anything, but it's when a bit of cliff is still remaining and the rest of it has crumbled away and now it's separated from the rest of the cliff. Anyway, we have a lot of that in New Zealand, and I haven't really seen it too many other places. I mean, I haven't gone to that many cliffs, I'm going to be honest, but it is something that you see in New Zealand. And so it was kind of at this moment that I realized how much Ireland was like New Zealand, and I think it's the closest we've come to, I guess I've come to because Luke wasn't with me, but the closest I've come to seeing something that's so like New Zealand. And it is really funny because now when people ask me, hey, would you recommend flying to New Zealand for a holiday? I guess like I say yes because New Zealand is lovely, but if you don't have the money to fly there because it's literally the other side of the world, go to Ireland because it's stunning and it's so much like New Zealand. Anyway, enough about that. I then came back and I went a slight way up the northern side. I actually only went up to the castle, and then you can climb up the castle and it's got the most amazing view of the cliffs, and you can see the cliffs and the caves, and then you can also see in the other direction. And if it's not raining and misty, you can actually see out a lot further. And so they have signs around the top of the castle of what should be there if it's a clear day. Obviously, it's very rarely a clear day in Ireland, and so I couldn't see anything, but it was nice to know that it was there. Anyway, after the 2 hours there, we got back on the bus, which was really nice because there was heating and I was pretty cold at that point. And then we started making our way down to Galway. This was kind of the reason that I did this tour, was to go to Galway. I know that I could have just caught a bus, I know, but I kind of wanted to do it as part of a tour group because I was by myself and I wanted somebody else to organize it for me, basically. Plus, I wanted to see the cliffs of Moher, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do both if I didn't do it as part of a tour. And in saying that, I booked it all through booking.com, and I had a discount code because I'd spent enough money at booking.com that they gave me like a voucher or whatever. Anyway, we landed in Galway, and the tour guide actually took us through, I think, like a 10-15 minute tour, and then we had 2 hours to ourselves. And so I just took myself around, just a nice little walking tour. There were different things that you could do, but I personally just felt like walking around, and I may have accidentally but very spontaneously landed in a bookshop. Because of course, if I'm gonna see a secondhand bookshop, of course I'm gonna go in. And I bought so many books from this bookstop because it is just, I think it was one of the most beautiful bookshops I've ever seen. It was so well decorated, but it also just felt kind of homely, like it didn't feel sterile. And I don't know, I just got a bit carried away, to be honest. I could have bought so many books here and I didn't. I stopped myself, but I could have. Anyway, I had an early dinner at one of the pubs there, and I actually had a Guinness stew. Oh my gosh, if you are in the area, have a Guinness stew. I'm not a beer drinker that much. I don't really like beer or dark Guinness or whatever. If you're in the area, you have to get a Guinness stew. We then got home. It was like 8 p.m. or something. I was pretty tired, but there was this amazing fresh donut shop just down the road from me and really close to where the bus dropped us off. And so of course I went there, and they had vegan donuts. And so of course I went and got a vegan donut. It was amazing. I did end up just getting a chocolate donut because I'm just basic sometimes. I just like a good basic donut. And that was all I did. It was a really nice way to end the solo travel day. I could have done more the following day because I only had to leave at like 1 or 2 p.m. I had an early evening flight, and so I could have done some more in the morning, but I just wanted to get some more work done. I was feeling a little bit, I don't know, overwhelmed with what there was to do, and I'd had a really good but busy day the day before, and I just didn't feel like pushing it. So I didn't do that. I just got up, I had a coffee, and then I made my way out to the airport. I had another coffee, I had some lunch, and then I flew home. And if I'm honest, this was a really cool, nice, slow solo travel. I was really worried about not just being lonely, but feeling overwhelmed. And so I'm really glad that I took this really slow and kind of just went at my own pace, and I busied myself enough with having stuff that I wanted to see, but also being able to work in the morning. And so it felt like I had a certain amount of structure. So yeah, it was actually, I would call this quite a successful solo travel. I know I could have done more, but I'm really happy with how it went. And yeah, thanks for coming along. I hope that you enjoyed this. It was a really lovely trip, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the beautiful footage of Ireland. But I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you with another video very soon.